Don't even think about playing this game without a turbo controller, unless you want to develop carpal tunnel syndrome. And you know what else? This gun is the most convoluted piece of shit I have ever used in any game I have ever played in my entire life. I mean, I can understand that, you know, this is the Addams family, and so you have this need to be weird because it's the Addams family, but come on! At least make the gun functional. I mean, why did they think it was smart to have a gun that you can't even use in a narrow corridor? I mean, what were they thinking? Well, anyway, later in the game you get this whip from Morticia. The whip has 4 levels. You start off with what is presumably a leather whip, and then you upgrade to a chain whip, and then what looks like a morning star, and then finally a flame whip. But wait, where have we seen this before? Yeah, that's right, Simon's Quest. They ripped this shit straight off Simon's Quest. But you know what? That's probably a good thing, because if they came up with their own scheme, it would probably be some stupid asinine bullshit just like the gun. Okay, the whip is a lot stronger than the gun. The problem is that the whip gathers any item left behind when you kill an enemy. Now that sounds like a convenience, right? Wrong. These enemies drop a shitload of weapons downgrades, and naturally you'll be button mashing or using a turbo controller. And inevitably, you'll accidentally get a downgrade and downgrade your whip or your gun. Don't use the whip, it's just not worth it. Another problem I have with this game are the continues. If you die, you start all over again from the beginning. That's right, from the beginning. There are no milestones in the game where you continue from. You start all over. The only difference between starting a new game and continuing is that you keep all your weapons, upgrades, and items, and you don't have to refight any bosses that you defeated. It's still total bullshit to have a continue option and have the player start all the way from the beginning. I mean, who wants to fucking start from the beginning? Give me a fucking break. Another thing that I hate are these buildings where you go into first person mode. The problem is that as you progress in the game, the layouts get more complicated and it's easy to get lost. There are no enemies in the building and there's no time limit. It's just a pointless maze that wastes time. I mean, at least in Gogol 13 you had enemies to fight. And on top of that, if you happen to run into that extra life bar in the first building, you'll probably be wasting your time on a wild goose chase looking for new life bars. Well, there are no more life bars, so don't even bother. Look at this shit. Who would design a building like this in real life? And you know, another thing is that if you get lost and come up to a door, it could be the door that you use to enter the building, and if you go outside, you have to use another key to re-enter the building. Why couldn't they just leave out the maze and have you fight the boss upon entry into the building? That would have made more sense. One last gripe I have with this game are these goddamn weapons downgrades. Half the time when I'm in these sewers or narrow corridors, these enemies drop these weapons downgrades right in front of me and I can't proceed until it disappears. This happens on a regular basis. This happens again and again and again and again and again. It slows down the game like crazy. I mean, no one wants to sit here and wait for this shit to disappear over and over and over and over and over again. And another thing is that a lot of times I'll be walking and shooting and this enemy will die right in front of me and will drop a weapons downgrades before I can react, and I'll accidentally pick it up, downgrading my weapon. Now since anything below a level 8 is a piece of shit, you have a much greater chance now of getting chewed alive by these fucking enemies. Another thing is that when you're trying to upgrade the whip, half the time when you get a whip upgrade, there'll be a gun downgrade superimposed on top of it or in front of it, and then you can't get it without downgrading your weapon. I mean, this is the most annoying thing in the game ever. I guess the last thing I'll talk about is the ending. Now, after you defeat the final boss, you get a sequence where the spaceship blows up and then everybody's around Uncle Fester celebrating. It's pretty cliche, nothing to get excited over, so that's how the game ends. So there you have it, Fester's Quest. Don't play it. It's a bad game. Just stay away. And that concludes this presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Peace out.